Hello, spectators, and sorry about the last video at the ending, me completely fucking that up. So, I'm gonna redo that paragraph, and we will hopefully finish the story in this video. If not, it should freaking end in the next one. We don't have that much to go. So, starting back over. Never in the years we have lived there had anyone knocked at our door. Hell, we hadn't even made arrangements if someone did show up. I simply told her to go to her room while I took care of it. Once I heard her door shut, calmly and collectively I asked who it was knocking, expecting some stranger probably got lost on his or her travels. A female voice spoke in elegant, yet attention-grabbing tone. I felt myself listening to her with the uttermost attention. She asked if she may come in, a question I'd normally refuse in a heartbeat, but yet something about her voice was reminiscent, and I couldn't help but walk over and open the door. When I first saw the figure standing on my porch, I wasn't sure if I was dreaming or hallucinating. Standing there was the radiant and majestic Princess Celestia, excuse me. Sorry, I read that story before. Got confused. Yeah. I was at a loss of words, fighting both emotions of brony excitement, which had felt when I first found Dashie, and the emotions of sorrow, for I knew what this meant. She stood there another second looking at me. We both matched each other in eye level, her body being the size of a nearly full-grown horse. Stepping back, allowing her to enter. What caught me off guard next was the 5 other ponies that followed suit. First Twilight Sparkle, and then the rest of the game. Applejack, Rarity, Fluttershy, and lastly Pinkie bouncing in. Ooh, so this is what an alien house looks like on the end. Oh my, you have a kitchen. I'm starving. Are you starving? I was gonna make us some. She was stopped by Applejack's hoof. Easy there, Sugar Cube. We're just here for Rainbow, so we ain't got no time for eating. Applejack's stomach growled. No matter how hungry we are. I still wasn't sure how to completely react to all this, but not wanting to be rude, I offered some leftovers. We have some leftovers from dinner last night. You're more than welcome to have some. Pinkie Pie took that as an okay and ran to the kitchen with such vigor, whatever that word is. It seemed I did not even need to tell her where everything is. She instantly knew where everything was placed. Factor it to either be dumb luck or just simply being Pinkie Pie. I chose the latter. I'll go and keep an eye on her, Applejack said, walking to join the hyper pony. As she passed, she tipped her hat at me. I was finding it odd that the ponies were not more hesitant about being around creatures such as me. Then again, the same could be said for myself. But having Dashie for 15 years... Wait. It said 20. This says 15. Whatever. I don't care. He wrote it. There goes the beat. For 15 years, I'd grown used to having such a thing around me. Now, I have 5 other ponies and a full-size goddess horse looking at me with the same amount of curiosity I held for them. There was a moment of silence as I watched the 2 mares enter my kitchen and begin to rampage through my fridge. I'm quite surprised, Celestia began. I had expected a little bit more resistance to us entering. Why? I know who you all are. Celestia nodded. Ah, so you know then. That you are fictional characters of a children's TV show? Then yes. Otherwise, why you are all here, I have no clue. Well, the last part I lied, hoping to keep my mind at ease, for I knew the reason. But I just wanted to ignore it. Oh, I think you do know. My heart fell into the pits of my stomach. I did know. She was straight to the point about it. During all these years, I have anticipated this moment, but as time drug on, that thought slowly dispelled until it was just nothing more than a minor nip in my mind. That's when it all happens, you know? When everything is finally perfect and you don't have to worry anymore. Excuse me, sir, Twilight began, but from what we could figure out, Rainbow Dash is here, is she? I looked at the purple mare and wanted to tell her no, but I knew it was fruitless. She's upstairs in her room. In her room? Best Rarity impression ever. Rarity asked, surprised. Yes, Dashie is in her room, and I'm not sure who was knocking, and I didn't want her to be spotted. Dashie? My, you're that friendly with her already? Rarity continued. I wanted to punch that pony so hard right then. I want to punch her all the time. How she responded insulted me. Friendly? That's not even the beginning of it. I should be asking you ponies what the hell you did. Celestia raised a brow, taken back by my sudden change in tone. You see, my student, I know who she is. Get to the chase. I was very short with her. As furious as I was, I wanted to know why they sent Dashie as a filly to some other world. Twilight bit her lip, as her teacher continued. Yes, of course. She was working on a spell to help the weather team with some storm development. Well, they made slightly too large of a storm, and when Twilight used her magic to try to dispel it, it shot a lightning bolt meeting her magic. Rainbow Dash was, unfortunately, enough to be within reach of the blast, and it engulfed her and sent her to, well, here. So, we have come to retrieve her. Simple enough, I'd imagine. Before I could answer, Rainbow Dash called from her bedroom. Dad? Is everything alright? The second my heart stopped beating as I looked from pony to pony, each one of their faces in pure shock and confusion. They recognized the voice of their Rainbow Dash, but she said, Dad. Excuse me, Sugar Cube. Applejack started, returning from the kitchen. Did just hear Rainbow Dash call you Dad? Before I could answer, Celestia started up again. Do you care to explain? I was lost. So many things were running through my mind at once. There was only one thing I could do, and I had to do it. But I knew I wouldn't like it. Go into the living room and make yourselves comfortable. I'll be right down with her. I didn't allow a response. I turned around and walked up the stairs slowly. Dad? Yeah, Dashie? I'm coming up. I looked back down at the group of ponies that as they watch me ascend. We need to talk. So that's what I did. I told her who was down there, and that they were here to take her back. She'd seen the cartoon ever so often after some time, and found the wacky adventures entertaining. She had given up any thought that the Rainbow Dash in the show was her, and only viewed it as another cartoon. As I talked to her and explained that those very ponies she didn't believe in were downstairs, she brushed me off with some laughter. She brushed me off with some laughs. She didn't believe me, and thought I was playing some joke on her. So I took her down to the living room. All right. Well, I hope I don't mess the rest of the story up since it's ending. Fuck you very much.